So today, talking about love for single women. I know that many of you, single women, and especially if you are around 26, 28 years old, maybe older as well, but around these ages, I know how difficult it can be for you because I've been there. And when I was there in the past, I was always thinking like, I wish I could have somebody. Everybody else has someone, why not me? They're getting ahead, I'm being left behind. Maybe I'm not good enough to be loved. Maybe nobody will ever want me. I'm destined to be alone forever. And I had so many beliefs about love and myself and how worthy I was, seeing, in this case, not seeing myself being worthy. And I can tell you actually that having boys liking me since I was maybe 12, 14 years old has never been a problem. And I don't know, just because I suppose, or not just because, but I think that's actually, I don't know, you can call it our mind, our higher self, our soul, I don't know. But I was maybe in year either 9 or 12, so basically I would be either around 15 or 18 years old, and I kept like a very old like notebook kind of diary, and I wrote in there all of the names of the boys that liked me all throughout the years. And guess what? I never liked any of them. And I can also tell you that many of them, they were really good people, good choices to be in a relationship with. One of them was actually the most beautiful boy in school, well, in my opinion. But I didn't want him because I was in love with somebody else. And this person that I was in love with, actually, there were like, it wasn't always the same person, and there were 1, 2, maybe 3 different people. Yeah, 3, I guess, that I liked. But they didn't like me. And so, because I was so like, I want this person, and if this person doesn't want me, I don't want anybody else because it doesn't make sense. Okay, so I kept like rejecting people from my life that could have been really a great match for me, at least at the time. But once again, like I was saying, maybe our soul knows best, or our higher self, or our intuition, I don't know, call it what you want. And I'm saying that they probably were good at the time, but to be honest, I don't really know, do I? So if it didn't work out, maybe it's because of my beliefs, yes. And also maybe at the time it wasn't meant to be because I was too young, and probably I would have made choices that I wouldn't have had the life that I had so far. And I'm not saying that my life is probably the best decision that I could ever made at the time, but what I'm saying is like, and I believe this really firmly, that we need to go through things to figure out what it is that we want, and to live what it is that we need to live and to experience. But at the same time, I also know that from a very young age, we start making stories in our mind about everything in our life, and in love as well. So maybe you grew up seeing, I don't know, a dysfunctional relationship around you, your parents, or maybe people close to you. And for me, for instance, I was maybe 8, 9 years old, 7, I've no idea. And I saw an uncle of mine getting together with his still partner, because he never got married. And we're talking about, I'm 42 years old. If I was 7, over 30 years ago. And that stuck in my mind, like, he was the first one in my family saying, no, I don't want to get married. I just want to live with her, plus she's divorced, that's it, done. So end of story, I don't care. And that to me was like, okay. And I started, and I think that 2-3 years later or so, I started hearing the stories about another person in the family that was going through some difficulties in the wedding, a wedding, marriage. Um, and that all made me start having my own beliefs. And so, like, I started believing that, okay, I don't want to get married. I just want to live with somebody. Because if something happens, then it's easier for me to leave the relationship and go. That's it. Nobody will get me stuck in a place that I don't want to get stuck. And what I'm trying to say, I guess my belly, sorry. What I'm trying to say is that we start forming our beliefs from a very young age, and then we hold on to them as if this was a reality for the rest of our life. But it doesn't have to be. It can change. It can be different. But we need to do the inner work. And this is where I come in. Because yes, I want to share with you things about not just my life, but maybe examples about my life could be helpful. So you guys can have an idea as well of what's going on with you, and maybe you will relate to that. And what I'm trying to say is also that I was able to overcome this. And no, I'm not in a relationship, not because I don't have anybody to be in a relationship with, but because right now that is not my focus. However, I know that when the right person comes, I am ready to go and commit, because I've been doing the work behind the scenes. I've been working on myself, on what it is, my values, yes, my worth, and actually what I was willing to accept and not accept in my life. Because many times I was just staying in there for the sake of it, because I was afraid to be alone. I was scared. I thought that being alone was the worst thing that could happen to me. Guess what? It wasn't. I am alone in the sense that I don't have a boyfriend. I have my daughter. And so that's why my focus right now, she's little, and that's where my focus is. But what I'm trying to say with this is, like, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be on your own for a little while. It could be a month, it could be 2, it could be a year, it doesn't matter. But if you're alone, just make sure that you are looking after yourself. Just, get your priorities in order, your values, and really open up to life and see what life has for you and how it can maybe surprise you as well. Because life is worth living, and living it fully, not feeling afraid, not, like being alone. It's not being lonely, okay? As long as you have a group of friends or family that you can stick with, you have your hobbies, and you start working really, like I said, on your values and everything else, I promise you that things start changing. You start valuing yourself more, valuing your time, and valuing the people that come into your life. You're not just spending time with anybody, you are being more selective. And that is a good thing, because that means that you are creating your boundaries and your values, and you're sticking to them, and that is good. And more things will come in here, and just subscribe if you want to know more things. And that's it.